Hello everyone and welcome to the Mylio Photos Coffee Break. My name is Angela Andrew and I am your presenter today. I'm a product evangelist for Mylio and my job is to help you guys be successful with the software. Today's presentation is going to be short and sweet. We're going to talk about the Mylio Clipboard and then we'll have some time afterwards for Q&A, and that doesn't have to be on today's topic. You can ask me just about anything about photography, family history, Mylio specific, kind of whatever's on your mind so I can help you get things done. Before we jump into today's topic, there's a couple of things I want to show you. The first one here is our poll. So if you guys have noticed, we have a poll that we put up at the beginning and the end of each one of these sessions. And there's a fun little question we try to pop in there to each one of these just to kind of keep things light and fun. And last month we asked, if your ancestors could see your photo collection, what would they say? Now, if I were to go through and answer this for myself, it'd probably be there, why are there so many pictures of your lunch? But looking at everybody here and the overwhelming number of you answered, you need to organize this mess. Seriously. So if your ancestors could see your photo collection, what would they say? Well, if you're needing to organize your mess, you have come to the right place. So hopefully you guys are enjoying these little questions. They're just for fun and not to be taken too seriously. If you're coming to our Q&As and you're curious what the answers were to that one, we asked if your photo collection were a person, what kind of personality would it have? And most of you answered the procrastinator. So this was really fun and it really kind of gives us some insight into the types of libraries you guys have too and the challenges you're facing. So hopefully you guys are enjoying those little anecdotes that we throw in there. So before we jump into the presentation for real, I also want to share with you some of our upcoming events. If you're new to Mylio Photos, make sure you're joining our Ready, Set, Go program. You can find that at mylio.com/readysetgo. My cohort, Lori Rubin, she runs this and she is awesome at making sure people have all of the building blocks they need to get up and running with Mylio. So these sessions run Monday through Friday. There's a morning and an afternoon option and it repeats every week. So jump into the ones that you can get into your schedule. If those times don't work for you, there's also a self-paced option. So hopefully you guys can take advantage of that. We also have open live Q&A, kind of an Ask Me Anything every Tuesday and Thursday at 11:30 a.m. Pacific. And on Friday, we have these coffee breaks. Now, next week, I am going to be on vacation from Wednesday on. So you guys are going to have the benefit of JC Figueroa. He is our head of customer success and absolutely brilliant with Mylio. He's going to be filling in for me on Thursday and Friday. So you're going to have him for Q&A on Thursday. And then he's going to be doing a presentation on Friday on how to judge common Mylio Photos missteps. So there's a lot of little things that can potentially not necessarily go wrong, but could be done, best practices. He's going to talk about all of those next Friday. So you don't want to miss those. He's a great resource and hopefully a good change of pace from you guys always having to listen to me. So with that, I want to go ahead and switch my screen back over here and we can talk about today's presentation. And we're going to get into using the Mylio Clipboard. This is a great little tool that a lot of people often overlook. And today's presentation is going to be pretty short and sweet, but I want to make sure you guys know that this tool exists and what it can do for you because it's just a great little utility. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the Mylio Clipboard. What does it do? It is a temporary storage space. It makes moving things between folders and albums very, very easy. And it can hold files, folders, and albums. So what we're going to do here is talk about first moving files. So I'm going to jump over here to Mylio Photos and I want to move some files from my Mylio inbox and get them put somewhere else in my library. So for those of you who aren't aware, the Mylio inbox is another potentially temporary holding area, different type. And we can talk about more what the inbox is, but it's a folder that you can drop things into. And I have things in here that I've edited and I've just dropped into this folder and they need to be reorganized into their proper places. So what I can do here is I'm going to go ahead and grab this picture here. This is from Lurie Caverns. I captured it back in 2018. I did a quick edit on it and I want to make sure this gets back into the proper folder. So what I'm going to do to add something to the Mylio Clipboard, there's two different ways you can do it. The first one is you can just grab, click and drag it to the bottom of the screen. And that goes ahead and opens up the Mylio Clipboard, which is here at the bottom automatically. And I'm going to go ahead and clear that really quick. You can also open the Mylio Clipboard. So if you don't see it there and you just want to see it, over here on the right, there's this little tiny icon here for the Mylio Clipboard. If you click that, that opens it up. Right now it's empty. And again, I can just click and drag to pull something in there. You can also right click on an image and choose to, let's see here, where is it? I know it's in here. There you go, add to Mylio Clipboard. Go ahead and click on that. It does the same thing as dragging it down there. So this works with files, folders, and albums. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and do a single file. You can do multiple at once, but I only have one from this particular shoot that I need to move. So I've gone ahead and put it down here in this temporary holding area. I know that this is a file from 2018, January 27, 2018. So I'm gonna go ahead and click back here and go into my main folders. Now there are other ways to move files, but this is just one of the ways. So we're gonna go back into the 2010s. We're gonna find 2018 and January 27. There it is, Luray Caverns. I'm gonna go ahead and open that up. Here it is, here's that folder open, and now I can grab that file, just click and drag it up, and I've now added that file and physically moved it in my library and in my file system from the inbox to this folder. So that's one way you can use it. And you can do this with one image, you can do this with multiple images. It's also really handy if you're putting together, let's say, an album, and you're kind of wanting to just grab pictures, and you're not sure you want to keep all of them and have them in that album, but you can click into different folders and just drag things very quickly down into that temporary holding space down at the bottom. So we can do the same thing here with folders. And I'm gonna go back here to the top level of the folders view. And let's say we wanna actually physically move a folder. So it's the same thing. I'm gonna go ahead and click here on photos. And I want to potentially, let's see here, what do I wanna move? Perhaps I want to move, I had something picked out and now I'm not remembering what it was. Let's go ahead and grab, I want to move something too huge here. These pictures of my husband in uniform. Let's say I want to go ahead and put those into a different folder or move them somewhere else in my library. Again, I can click on this, I can right click and say add to Mylio Clipboard. This is clicked on the folder, the entire folder and its contents are selected. Or again, I can just click and drag that down to the bottom of the screen. I can then navigate elsewhere in my library to perhaps a different folder. Let's say family history, and if this is where I wanted to put that, I could grab this folder and just drag it up here and plop it in there, and that would physically move that on my hard drive. Now, I don't necessarily want to do that, so I'm going to go ahead and hit clear, and that's how you would move a folder. So very, very simple. Now, you can also do the same thing with albums, and this is where this comes in really handy, is because I've seen a lot of people accidentally end up with things in sub-albums that they actually want to make a top-level album, or maybe they put them into the wrong album to begin with. The Mylio Clipboard is exceptionally well suited for that. So we talked about moving files, we talked about moving folders, so let's talk about moving albums. So what I want to do is, there are some albums here that I want to reorganize. And one that I found earlier is I have an album here for some entries I did to the San Diego County Fair back in 2013. And then I have a top level folder here for just SD Fair, which is also the same stuff. And I want to have all of those annual groupings put into one top level folder. So I could, in theory, I could just grab this and I can click and drag it in there. So let me select it and I can click and drag it right in there. But if we're wanting to move things between different layers, what I can do is I can grab this particular album. And again, if I need to, I can right click on this and say add to the clipboard. But in this case, I'm just going to click and drag it down to the bottom. I can then go in here to SD Fair. And if I need to, I can even create a new album. So let's call this 2013 and create. And then I can then take that album down here from the clipboard and drag it up there. And that has now relocated that album to where I want it to go. Similarly, in this case, I now have an album here, a sub-album that I don't really want to have there. I can take these images, select all of those, drag them down to that Mylio Clipboard. I'm going to go back a couple of levels here. So we have our top level 2013. There's that sub-album, and I don't want to have a sub-album. I just want to have this top level. So I can grab these, bring them back up here, and they're going to go straight. Let me make sure they're selected. There we go. And that's going to put them up here, and I can just go ahead and reorganize my albums very, very easily here with using the Mylio Clipboard. So it's a very simple tool. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but it's one that's not hidden, but a lot of people don't know about or know how to use it. So hopefully that gives you some ideas on how that can be put to use in your library and how it can make your life easier. And with that, have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.